It's Friday, which means we are back with another episode of Speed Work. I'm Jake Thompson. I'm Chief Encouragement Officer at Compete Every Day. And this week we're talking about how do you go from the starting line to the finish line? How do you go from day one to the podium? How do you get that goal when you're just starting out? I had a coaching session with one of my clients last week, and we were working through her process to pursuing a big goal. She's developing an app. It's a pretty awesome app, but she was really stuck in neutral. She was literally standing at the starting line, feet in like concrete cinder blocks, because she didn't know what to do next. She had a list of everything she could do, but she didn't know what to do. And so we started digging a little bit. We started digging deeper into some things about what she was working on, how she was working on it, why she was stuck in neutral, what was so scary about where she was. See, she had this big goal. She had this dream in mind of something she wanted to accomplish, but it's almost like the fear of the unknown, the fear of so many different things kept her at the starting line. Have you ever felt that same way? Have you set this massive goal for your life and somehow some way you just find yourself overwhelmed by everything that needs to get done? Your to-do list is about 1,000 things long, and man, just looking at it stresses you out. It's like if I flip on my iPhone and I've got 50,000 emails in there, unread text messages or Facebook notifications, it panics me. Like, I hate it. And a lot of us feel that way when we set these big goals for our life. And so I encouraged her and said, hey, let's back up. Let's look at the outline for pursuing a goal and what really goes into pursuing great goals in life. Each one of us have different goals that we pursue. Some are pursuing fitness goals. Some are pursuing career goals. Some of us, like this, they're pursuing entrepreneurial goals. But we all have goals. And these aren't the easy to-do list goals. These are the big ones. The ones that we have to grow into as an individual and that take weeks and months, sometimes years to bring to life. And so the first thing I wanted to ask her and to dig into is, are you making the decision to take action? You see, the first step in any pursuit, from day one to the finish line, from the start to the podium, the biggest thing you have to do is decide that where you are right now is no longer good enough. That where you are today is not exactly where you want to be standing tomorrow, and you have to commit to taking action. It's like looking at the situation and understanding there's something more out there. There's something better out there for me. And so once you make that decision, you're committed to competing. You're committed to making steps forward and progress, no matter what. Are you committed to it? And once you say yes, then we can move on to two. So one, make the commitment that where you are now is not good enough. Number two, what's your why? I don't care what you're trying to accomplish. I don't care what the goal is. I want to know why you have it. Why? Simon Sinek in his book Start With Why and his famous talk about circles of influence is all about the golden circle is about why. Why is what drives us. It's not that I wanted to start a t-shirt company that drives me. It's the fact that I wanted to impact people's mindsets because I believe better competitors make better people, and better people make bigger impacts on their communities, on their relationships, and in their companies. And I'm all about creating bigger positive impacts. That's my why. That's what drives me. For her, it was about creating connection and relationships. She believed that it was a lost art in today's world, and so she's driven by this higher purpose. And so it's that why that she's got to maintain focus on. So for me, my why is plastered everywhere. It's in my office. It's on my whiteboard over here. It's in my truck. It's on my bathroom mirror. I see it every day because I want to be reminded that what I'm doing is bigger than me, that my purpose is bigger than my current position, and that my mission is greater and stronger than any fears, any doubts, any adversity I face. And I encouraged her and challenged her to do the same is that if you believe in building these relationships, if you believe it is a lost art, that we crave this, then you have to understand that that mission and that purpose is greater than any feelings of discomfort, than any fear. And you have to tell yourself that over and over and over again. Remind yourself in those moments when those doubts whisper in your ear, when those fears seem like they're too much, that your purpose is bigger than your position, and that any adversity, any setbacks, any excuses that arise, those goals are bigger and more important than, because of the people that you'll impact on the other side. So, we've got commitment. We've got our why. We're going to focus on that next runner. I talk about this a lot in my keynotes, but focusing on the next runner is the only thing that gets me through races. I hate running, hate running. And so for me, as soon as I start running, my ADHD kicks in. I'm like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. I'm looking everywhere. I'm already bored of the race and it just started. Doesn't matter if I'm listening to a podcast, an audiobook, or my favorite playlist. I get bored quick. And when I get bored, my mind starts to run. It starts to tell me I'm tired and that maybe I shouldn't be running, or maybe I should slow down a little bit, or if I walk off the course here, would anybody really know if I didn't finish? Would anybody but me know? But see, if I did that, then I would know I cheated myself. And so I had to start teaching myself a game to be able to run, to be able to participate in races and different events. I stopped worrying about how far I had to go. When I'm at mile 1 of a half marathon and I have 12 miles to go, I'm not thinking about 12 miles. I'm thinking about the next runner. How can I catch that person just a little ways ahead of me? You take off, you start sprinting, you catch up to them, boom, positive boost of energy and emotion. I've accomplished something. Now I'm going to pick someone else out. I start chasing them. You're running as fast as you can. You catch them. Boom, another boost of positive energy and emotion. You're feeling good. You chase another and another and another. And pretty soon you'll have chased people the entire course of the race. Instead of worrying about running the entire 13 miles, 26 miles, 100 miles, all you're doing is chasing little markers along the way. And every time you catch one of those markers, you get a positive boost of emotion. You get energy because you've accomplished something. It's the same reason social media and our to-do list are so addictive. To-do lists are easy things that we can knock off. And so every time we cross something off that list, we feel good about it. Even if it's not important, even if it does nothing to get us closer to our goals, we feel accomplished. That's why when we post things, we're looking for those likes, those comments. I got to see them. I got to see them on my computer because we're craving that dopamine hit. And the same thing applies in pursuing our goals. It's taking on these monster goals, chasing that faraway finish line by focusing on that next runner right in front of us. And so we took her goals. We took everything on our list and we started working backwards. We said, okay, if you want to create this app, then you have to do this first. And before you can do this, you have to do this and this and this and this. And we worked our way all the way back to day one, where we were right here, right now. And I challenged her. I said, what is one thing you can do today? I don't care about everything else on that list, but what's one thing you can do today that will put you in a better position tomorrow? And I challenged her to do it. Cool. For you? She had 20 books on her list. I've got to read all these books. I have to go through all these books. That overwhelmed me just hearing that list of 20 things she had to read. So I challenged her. I said, let's work backwards. Let's look at this list. What are the 5 most important books on this list? We circled them. Then out of those 5, I said, what is the one most important book on this list that you need to read that helps with every other one? We picked it out. I challenged her to read 2 chapters of that day with it. The next morning when I checked in, I texted her. I said, hey, did you read those 2 chapters? Awesome, because today I want you to read 2 more chapters. You see, we accomplish things a little bit at a time. It's by chasing that next runner. Jeff Hayden in the book The Motivation Myth talks about this same theory in writing a book. He doesn't challenge you to write a book. He challenges you to write 500 or 1,000 words a day. You pick your word count, you write your word count, and that's all you focus on. So if you want to achieve that big goal, if you want to go from the starting line to the finish line, you make the commitment that where you are today is not where you want to be one day. You write down your why. You understand that that purpose is bigger than your position. And number 3, I should say, you chase that next runner. You set those milestones all along the course so that every time you hit it, you, boom, get a burst of positive motivation. You get that dopamine hit, and you have more motivation to keep going. Focus and plans get things done. Talking does not. You don't talk about it. You focus on it. You make a plan to get there, and you take action. Hope doesn't get it done. I hope I achieve this one day. I didn't get it done. Competing does. Make the commitment. Discover your why and put it everywhere. And then start chasing that next runner. Compete every single day.